What's up, cooks? Welcome to the Card Kitchen. I am the Card Chef, and today we are looking at which booster packs are the best packs for new players to open. And I think after reviewing a couple of things, I've come to the conclusion that there's one way, pretty much the best way to do this for new players, and it's with the Charizard pack from Genetic Apex. And I will be showing a bunch of decks on the screen today in order to show you why I've come to this conclusion. And basically they're all going to be decks that are pretty good decks that are in the top of the meta, that have been top of the meta before and continue to be good. So basically the reason I say Charizard is for a couple of reasons. As you can see on the screen, this is the Charizard deck. The two Charizard lines, the two Moltres, Sabrina, Leaf, Communications, 2 Capes, 2 Potions, X-Speed, 2 Pokeball, and 2 Professor's Research. Now, if you look at this deck, there's only 3 cards that you can't get from the Genetic Apex Charizard deck, Charizard pack, because you get Charizard and Moltres and Sabrina all in Genetic Apex Charizard. If you start opening that, you basically open 50%, actually more than that. You open 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 cards. So yes, pretty much 50% of your deck is Genetic Apex, and this deck is still played today with a major success because Charizard is still the only Pokemon that can one-shot every single thing in the game. And then the rest of the majority of the deck, which is 2 Pokeball, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Potion, and 2 X-Speed, which is an additional 7 cards, are all the promo cards that you get pretty much for free for tickets in the shop. So a total of 9 and 7, which is 16 cards, which is like, what, 80% of your deck you can get just by opening Charizard packs and then using tickets to get the rest of the deck. And then your Communication and your Cape is just open from the Dialga pack, and your Leaf is open from the Mythical Island, which won't take too long to get. Once you open a couple of packs of each of the Mythical Island and the Dialga pack, basically you'll either get the cards you need or you'll get the pack points that you need in order to complete this deck. So I do think Charizard, Genetic Apex Charizard pack is probably this best one to still start with. And also when you open the Charizard packs at the beginning, you also still get free cards from what I understand. So when you open a Charizard pack, you will also get an Executor EX for free. And so this is the next one we are going to look at, is the Executor Celebi deck. So obviously, because you're open in Charizard, not only are you going to get all those cards that we just talked about, but you also have the chance of, first of all, getting 1 Executor for free, and then possibly open a second Executor to complete the Executor set. And you can also unlock Erika's in Charizard EX. So by starting with the Charizard Genetic Apex Charizard pack, not only can you have 2 viable decks pretty much ready to go, but then you also, like I said, you need to start opening the Mythical Island packs to start to get your Leafs. While you're doing that, you might very well get 1 or 2 Celebi. This deck can actually run with just 1 Celebi. You don't absolutely need 2, believe it or not. And then once you unlock the Celebi, you basically now have 2 top tier decks in Charizard Moltres and Executor Celebi. Now these are older versions of the decks that are like Leafeon Celebi has pretty much replaced Executor Celebi, but that doesn't mean Executor Celebi isn't still a good deck. And considering you're going to be trying to get Charizard and Moltres in the Charizard pack, and you already get an Executor for free, you might as well open as much as you can to complete the cards that you need for these sets. And then, as well, like I said, once you start opening packs from Spacetime Smackdown to get certain things that you might need, well, you start to collect pack points, where you can now unlock the Rocky Helmets and the Cyrus that you might need for this Celebi Executor deck. Because again, the majority of this deck, you're only missing 1, 2, 3, 4 4 to 5 cards from other packs other than Charizard, and again, the rest are the promo A packs. But then what we're going to do is we're also going to look at another deck. So we're going to pull this down here because apparently my screen doesn't want to work very well, and we are going to do this. Make it a little bit bigger, and we'll just move my camera down here. So in the Palkia 18 trainer, now I think people might suggest let's open the Mewtwo pack so you can get Articuno, so you can do Articuno 18 trainer, but I would say no. In fact, what I would say is when you start opening your Space-Time Smackdowns, you should probably focus more on the Palkia pack, because then you will get the 2 Palkia EX, and then once you get those Palkia EX, the deck kind of fills itself out. Again, a bunch of stuff from the promo A cards, the Sabrina, which you would have already gotten when trying to open for the Charizard and the Executor EX, and then with those pack points you can just unlock a Misty from the Pikachu pack, because the pack points for Genetic Apex are universal to the Genetic Apex packs, and then you really only have to, because like I said, you focus on Charizard Apex or the Genetic Apex Charizard packs, get what you need, then focus on Space-Time Smackdown, probably the Palkia decks packs first, unlock the ones you need from the Dialga packs with pack points, and then you can open a couple of Triumphant Light. If you get the 2 Irida, perfect. If you don't, use your pack points to get the rest. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if I'm a new player, I'm coming into the game, I open the Charizard Genetic Apex Charizard pack, get my free Executor EX, try to get another one by keep opening those packs. While I'm doing that, I'm probably getting my Charizards, probably getting my Moltres, getting my Sabrinas, getting all the cards I need from that, and then whatever pack points I have, I'm spending on other cards that I need to fill out other decks. So things like Misty, for instance. And then the second pack I'm opening is the Palkia Space-Time Smackdown Palkia ones, so that you can try and get the Palkia. Once you get Palkia, Rocky Helmet, and Cyrus, which are super duper important, you can use your pack points to try and get capes. So that will allow you to pretty much unlock 3 decks by just focusing on 2 packs, the Genetic Apex Charizard and the Space-Time Smackdown Palkia, and then using your pack points to unlock other ones like Misty from the Pikachu pack and Giant Capes from the Dialga pack. And then once you pretty much have these 3 decks, which are all pretty good decks, Palkia EX 18 Trainer is actually top tier, to be completely honest. It's like a top 5 deck, at least on Play Limitless TCG. Executor Celebi is still very good, and Charizard EX has always been around since day one in the top of the meta in some way, shape, or form. And then what you can do is, for the Executor deck, for example, if you want to evolve it into a Leafeon version of the deck, that's perfectly fine, because you already have Iridas, so you can now have the Leafeon water grass energy deck where you're playing Ericas and Iridas with Celebi. Because you've already opened Triumphant Light packs to try and get the Irida anyways for the Palkia pack, you may have unlocked some Leafeon anyways, and if you haven't, maybe you have enough pack points to do so now. And then once you've opened there's enough Charizard packs that you needed, and enough Palkia packs that you needed, and enough Mythical Island packs that you may have needed for either the Celebi, the Leaf, or whatever you may need, and you've spent all the pack points there, then focus on the Dialga pack, because the Dialga pack, and it's the one we're going to look at now, is the Rampardos deck. So we want to look at Rampardos because, and I'm going to move my webcam back up here again, if I can do it. Nope, won't let me do it. It's fine. I don't understand anything that's happening on my computer right now. There you go. We'll just do it like this for now. The majority of this pack is all Dialga, right? But you've already unlocked all the other cards you pretty much need. So like I said, you've pretty much unlocked all the cards you needed from the Charizard Genetic Apex Charizard pack. You've gotten your Sabrina. You've most likely already unlocked your Cyrus, and you've most likely already opened a couple of Dialga or used your pack points to get some of these Dialga packs. And you can also just use your pack points that you tried to get the Celebi EX on the Marshadow from Mythical Island, and you can use your pack points from the Genetic Apex Charizard to get the Hitmonlee from the Genetic Apex Mewtwo pack. And then you can focus the rest of the time on opening Dialga to get this deck. The Rampardos Lucario deck is literally, in my opinion, the best deck in the game, other than maybe the Dialga Arceus, because that's super duper good. But this deck is one of the best decks in the game that you can play in, that can answer any situation that you're up against in tournament play, on ladder, whether it's ranked or not, and is a single price deck. And then once you get all those decks that I just talked about, opened a bunch of packs from those packs I told you about, used your pack points to get the cards you need, you can now focus on the Dialga pack to get your Rampardos line, to get your Lucario line, and to get that communications if you haven't already unlocked it with pack points. And so basically by doing that, by just starting with your Charizard, then going into Palkia, and then Dialga, and then a couple of packs of possibly Mythical Island and Triumph of Light, then using pack points that you have to just get the specific cards that you need, you'll be super duper well set up. So that is what I think and what I believe. I honestly truly believe Charizard EX, or the Charizard Genetic Apex pack is the pack you should start with, because you can get pretty much two very viable decks by just starting with that to get into right away. Or you can, and then you can get into the Palkia packs, but you can also probably just start with Palkia Dialga, the Space Time Smackdown decks, and then open a couple of Genetic Apex packs, probably still the Charizard one anyways, enough until you get enough pack points to get one or two Sabrina, because it's really the most important card from that set, to be completely honest. But as you can see, to get this deck, all you really need to do is open Dialga. If you opened all of Dialga first, your first pack, basically what you would do is you would get all the cards you need from the Dialga pack, use your pack points to get the Cyrus, and then open enough Genetic Apex Charizard packs to try and get one Sabrina. And even if you don't, then you can use your pack points to get it. And if you do, you could use the pack points that you get from trying to get the Sabrina to get the Hitmonlee, and then open a couple of, again, cards from Mythical Island until you get one Marshadow, because again, this is a one of Marshadow, so you don't need two. So once you get one, you're good to go. And if you don't get it, then use your pack points again. So it's really up to you, but that's how I would do it. Charizard, Palkia, then Dialga, and open up a couple of Mythical Island and a couple of a Triumph of Light to get those one-off cards that you may need to fill the deck out. And then even if you don't have them, you can just use other cards to substitute in for them. If you don't want to open Triumph of Light to get the Sudowoodo here, then you don't have to. You can wait until you can replace it with something else, a second Hitmonlee, a second Marshadow, a Hitmonchan even would be pretty good in this deck, and then move on until you're ready to open Triumph of Light. But anyways, that is my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and share. Join my Discord and my Twitter, and as always, keep cooking.